Welcome to March, y'all. Hey, friend. I am excited about this upcoming month on Holistic Hearts. This is going to be all about wellness. Are you one who you started your resolution in January, or maybe you didn't even do a goal, and you are feeling that angst that I want to do something for my body? Or maybe you've had excellent growth in these last couple of months and you are stoked to continue that. Or maybe you've really chosen well, but there's something within you that says, well, I'm not totally satisfied. I'm not content with where I'm at. Or maybe you're at the place of remembering your goals of January, those fitness goals, and you feel guilty because you've fallen off the wagon yet again. Maybe you're feeling frustrated that you didn't stick with your nutrition plan or your movement plan. Maybe you're feeling lost over why the heck do I keep eating the Cheetos at night? Why do I keep eating all the junk food? It's okay. You are invited here. If you feel this sense of shame, if you are feeling guilt, if you are feeling defeated, welcome. Welcome into this space this month. This is going to be for you. Welcome to Holistic Hearts. I'm your host, Kristen Chadwick, a wife to Joshua, a mama to 4 children, and a spiritual life coach and podcast producer and manager to many powerful women. I am hungry to create connection and community, and this podcast is for you if you are looking to grow spiritually, heal emotionally, and be inspired physically. Here we go. Hey, friend. I am so glad you are here. Thanks for tuning in again to Holistic Hearts. Hey, shout out to my Buy Me a Coffee people out there coming along and partnering alongside. I just can't say thank you enough. So thank you. Thank you for your financial just witness. And I appreciate all of you who even just do $5 to support this show. I appreciate every little ounce of tangible gratitude. So thank you. Okay. So this month of March, y'all, we are tapping into just something that I'm really passionate about. I love talking about our whole heart. I love being in an alignment. I love talking about holistic perspectives. I love talking about training. That is my background. I was a personal trainer for years at the Y at a private studio with one-on-one clients. And it just really has been ingrained in me since I was a little girl. I loved fitness. I loved moving my body. I loved playing team sports. I loved challenging myself, and that still plays out today. And so I want to bring that into Holistic Hearts this month. We're going to be talking about wellness in general, but we're going to be diving into a little bit more. Our focus is going to be and our energy and our intention is going to be for our well-being, specifically our body movement. And this is for anyone at any level. You can be like me, where you love fitness or you love moving your body. You could be a diehard gym rat. You could be somebody who hates going to the gym because, gosh, there's people there and they're watching you. That's what it feels like, right? Or you could be an at-home gym enthusiast. You could be a body workout. So Beachbody changed their name to Body, BODI, because they got a lot of flack for calling it Beach Body because it had a lot of negativity around it. So just putting that out there, you could be a body participant. You could be a YouTube fitness person. You could be a walker. You could be, everywhere in between, yoga, Pilates, dancer, any of these things. This is your month. Okay. We have probably more than 4 episodes that are going to be coming out this month. I just have so much on my heart about this specific topic, because when I asked you guys in 2022 at the end of the year, what do you guys want to hear? This was by far the biggest topic that people commented on. So we are going to be talking about your questions specifically. Every episode is going to hit on something that somebody has made a comment on inside of that form on Google Forms, which thank you for all of your participation. I appreciate that. And so we are going to be covering a lot of areas, and we're going to have some guests, and we're going to have a lot of monologue, like me just sharing my heart. So this is for you. I want you to participate in one of these ways or in all of these ways. You can either listen to every episode, go click that follow button. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go follow with that little plus sign at the top right-hand corner, add Holistic Hearts right there. Boop. If you're in Spotify, you're going to click the follow button. Any other app, make sure that you are following me so that you know when I'm dropping an episode. This is my way of communicating to you. It's going to be a little sporadic. Yes, there will be every Thursday, there will be a new episode, but there might be little surprise episodes here and there as we go along. So you can participate in that way where you are listening to each episode. Number 2, you can listen to this episode and you can participate in our Facebook group, Mind, Body, Spirit, Holistic Faith for Christian Women. I know it's a mouthful, so I'll put the link down below. That group is there for you. That is there for you to have support. I don't want anyone to feel alone. And so please go and join that Facebook group if you would like to be encouraged and walk through this month together. The third way that you can participate this month is through listening to this episode, being inside the Facebook group. And you guys, this is pretty cool. The third thing is if you would like to have a supportive group come alongside you and encourage you daily to move your body. That's going to bring you joy. It's going to bring life. It's going to bring encouragement. Come and join our Telegram channel. I'll put that link down below too. That is free. All of this is free. So if you are wanting to up your movement and your wellness game, I encourage you to participate in these 3 ways this month. Okay. Now, let's move on. So what is wellness? Wellness, according to online, where I was like, okay, I'm going to just Google what is wellness, and Global Wellness Day.org says wellness is a conscious development of the whole self. And the World Health Organization says wellness is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Okay, so let's hit on that real quick. Wellness is not just the absence of disease or infirmity. I love that because it really takes that, 2010, wasn't it all about we're not just surviving, we need to thrive. Thrive, not survive, right? So this is in essence, like we don't need to walk through our life just barely getting through. I know for me, for many years, I barely made it to the end of the afternoon with my kids. I was just poor energy. I didn't listen to my body well. I ignored a lot of just warning signs inside of my body. I tapped myself out. So that is not healthy. So we need to have some sort of balance and alignment in our body where we are really taking care of ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. And inside of Holistic Hearts, I try to cover, since this is called Holistic Hearts, I try to cover all of these areas. And last month, we really hit on a lot of spiritual wellness and fitness. We talked a lot about inviting Jesus into those places of tension and moments in our life and hard places in our life. Like we talked about the woman who bled for 12 years a couple weeks ago, where that right there, that is real. That is inviting Jesus into those places where our body is hurting. And so that is encompassing some of our wellness. Now, I really want to dig into a core concept that I learned from my friend Jenny, who she was on here last month, and she has a counseling background. And she taught me this a long time ago, and it's really helped me filter out my own story. And I've watched it in my clients and my coaching clients. I've watched it in other people's journeys, whether they were a podcaster or just a regular life coaching client. And it's this: our beliefs, mindset, and what we fuel our body with, all of those things are connected to our beliefs. Let me explain. Our beliefs inform our thoughts, which inform our actions. So if you look at it in stages, right? So we think on a behavioral level, if I could just stop eating the Cheetos in the afternoon, then my life will be better. Well, underneath that, there's a thought that started that Cheeto behavior, right? Maybe it was, I deserve this. And then underneath the I deserve this is my belief. So what's my belief? I'm not worthy of good, nutritious food. Do you see how that happens? So our actions are just the skimming of the surface. It's the tip of the iceberg. And this is where we're really going to hone in on this month. We have to become aware of our beliefs, because that is the driving force of our wellness journey, whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual. This is the holistic work. Your beliefs are the bedrock of all your actions. So I want you to think about these questions. Do you believe your body is good? As a believer in Jesus, if you have Jesus living in you, do you believe that your body is good? Do you believe your body is redeemed? Do you believe that your body is blessed? And I want you to take notice. Did your heart wince a little bit? Did you get a little emotional? And I want you to know, I hear you and I see you. And I have work to do too, my friend. Having autoimmune stuff for years and unexplained health issues for years, I still have a lot of work to do here. And this is where God meets me, and he's going to meet you. It's in this beautiful, vulnerable space. And asking these questions. Do you believe your body is strong? Do you believe you are capable to fulfill his calling on your life? Do you believe your body is at the very place where Jesus' spirit resides? That right there, that's holy work. And I truly believe this is why in Proverbs 4:23, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Do you hear that? I want you to put on that lens. Remember, our beliefs inform our thoughts, informs our actions. So if above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Your beliefs, your heart, your mercy seat of your soul and your body is your heart. That is your beliefs. We have to guard it and allow the Holy Spirit to dig up some of those weeds that have overtaken our sweet minds in our heart so that we can begin to flourish and to see growth. Romans 12:1-2 says, "Therefore I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Okay, in that verse alone, we are to offer our bodies as living sacrifices. That's the action, right? And it even says, this is your spiritual act of worship. It is considered worship to offer our bodies as living sacrifices. And how do we do that? Paul says, we don't conform to the pattern of this world. What's the pattern of this world? It's those thoughts, those false beliefs, that trap, that comparison trap, those mindsets that we continue to go to because they're easy to think. Like, oh, I can't ever follow through. My body is not strong enough. I'm not capable. That is the pattern of this world. But there's hope in this verse. But be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Our bodies don't lie. So if we are filled with shame and guilt, those thoughts, our bodies are going to tell the story of what's really going on in our mind. And this is a key to unlocking wellness. What's going on in your mind, my friend? The story that we tell ourselves is so evident in our bodies. Our body keeps the score. It's one of my all-time life-changing books. I'm not going to say it's a favorite book, but it is challenging because in the Body Keeps Score book, it is fascinating to see how much our bodies hold on to. It's such a beautiful opportunity to invite Jesus into those places. That's why when we have a gut reaction to something, or we have anxiety when we enter a room, there is memories that are stored and thoughts that are stored inside of our bodies, and it cannot lie. So we get to partner and participate in the renewing of our mind, our thoughts, with the Holy Spirit. What we sow into our minds, into our hearts, is what we reap. What we reap. That's hard to say. So, what are those things that we are telling ourselves? What are those thoughts? What are those beliefs? When our heart and our beliefs begin to align to God's kingdom ways, our thoughts become a playground for God to rewire. And then our thoughts lead us to action. Okay, so for example, we're going to meet fictitious Francine. This is totally made up. So let's say Francine has struggled with her body image her whole life. She grew up listening to her mom complain about her weight. Maybe her mom said things that were unkind, like maybe you need to lose some weight or any of that. So those beliefs started to form when she was really, really young. And she now, as a 40-year-old woman, she is a yo-yo dieter. She follows all the latest trends. She's done paleo, she's done keto, she's done the Mediterranean, she's done intermittent fasting. She has found a lot of success and then seen a lot of failure, quote unquote. She loses the weight only to gain it back even more. All of the things that she used to do no longer works. She keeps seeing herself try, and then she fails. So what does she do? She learns to mistrust her body. She learns to in her brain these pathways of, I'm just going to give up anyway. So why not just eat the bag of Cheetos? Why not just go to Starbucks and get the venti white mocha? She looks in the mirror with disgust. Maybe she hides from her husband. She's not intimate anymore because she's ashamed. And underneath all of that, all of those actions, the thoughts of disgust show what really is underneath that. She believes that she will never be enough. She believes she is unworthy. She believes she is unlovable. Now, until she surrenders and sees the root of this heart issue, she will only gain so much ground. And here lies the invitation to invite Jesus into connection to her heart. It is the heart-to-heart moment that really anchors us into truth. We cannot know our way into truth. We can, but there is not a heart change, a belief change until we allow Jesus to come into that space. The antidote for shame, guilt, and losing our sight of what wellness could be will always be love. First, it's got to be God's love and receiving his love and allowing him into those spaces this month in March is going to change you more than just a diet or a fitness challenge or any of that. It has to start with receiving his unconditional love right where you're at. Not when you lose 10 pounds, not when you start eating better, not when you've got all your ducks in a row, but right now, receiving that love right now and allowing God to really go into those deeper beliefs in your heart. The garden of your heart is like what I like to picture. And asking for some awareness of what are those weeds, what are those false beliefs that we really need to uncover? And how can we break free? So what does love look like when we talk about wellness? It's that. And it also is that self-love, self-trust. So we show ourselves love when we are honoring our mind, body, and spirit. We are showing ourselves love when we begin to trust ourselves. When we make a commitment to, okay, every day I'm going to do 10 minutes, or every day during the week, or every other day I'm going to do 10 minutes of just pausing, stretching, or walking, whatever it might be. And you start to see these consistent habits, small habits, build up over time, and that you can trust yourself. Now, I will give this example of this past year was a huge example to myself that I can trust myself. I can follow through on what I'm saying I'm going to do. That when my husband and I did that fitness challenge, it was way more of a mental and a emotional and a spiritual challenge than anything else, because I proved to myself that I could trust myself. There were many years where I did not follow through. I gave up. I thought it was too hard. And to show myself compassion. And that's the second thing of what it looks like is self-compassion. We have to be kind to ourselves. We're so used to beating ourselves up that we will have to retrain our minds with new pathways to be kind and compassionate. I already have an accountability group that we've been doing since the beginning of the year. And one of the things that I love is how much kindness each of these women show to themselves. And that is where change is made, when we are kind to ourselves. We are compassionate. If you've been up all night with a throw up child, or if you've been up all night with a nursing baby, it's not compassionate to say you're going to hit it hard for an hour and a half and sweat, woman, sweat. It's not compassionate when we go from, oh, I just ate half the pan of brownies, so now I'm going to go work out really, really hard. Or you go work out really, really hard, and then you go and eat a gallon of ice cream because you just did a hard workout. Neither of those are showing compassion or kindness to our bodies. So as we create this baseline for our wellness journey this month, let's focus on one simple yet beautifully complex question. What will your movement look like this month? And I'm starting with a tangible action, because underneath all of this, when you start to unpack, okay, what's the story I'm telling myself here? From that very get-go, that question alone, what will your movement look like this month? Did you immediately feel guilt? Did you immediately doubt yourself following through? I'm curious, what came up for you? And I want you to back that up. What were the thoughts that just came out of your brain? And then go back further. What is the belief underneath that? Okay, so we're going to take this little simple question. What's your movement going to look like this month? Because we all know, I don't need to go into the why behind moving your body, but we all know that we need to move our body. You may choose to do however you look like, whatever floats your boat. Is it dancing? Is it dancing some days? Is it dancing or stretching or yoga or walking or getting outside in creation, hiking, skiing, whatever suits your fancy? But we are called to move our bodies in whatever capacity that you feel like God is calling you to in this season. So going back to our January conversation, we talked about the VIM method, VIM, vision, intention, and means. If you have not listened to those episodes, go back in January, listen through those, and I want to hear how you thought about those. And I want you to plug this into this question today. What's your movement going to look like this month? So first, the V, vision. Where do you want to be on March 31st? What's your vision? And I want to say this too, before I even go down this little method. Rarely does changing something with a negative ever create something with a positive. What I mean by that is we cannot, I would say 99% of the time, we cannot create a positive change using a negative mindset. So stick with me here, right? We cannot hate our bodies into submission of a beautiful, surviving, thriving, abundant wellness, holistic body. So remember, do the work here. What are those beliefs that we need to get control of? Not control of, but also surrender. That's what I meant to say. What do we need to surrender? So if you're struggling with that vision, okay, March 31st, if you were picturing yourself, say you're, your vision is, you want 6-pack abs, and that's great. And you want to complete a half marathon, and yet you have not worked out in years. By March 31st, that is not a wise plan. So that's what I mean by we cannot positively influence ourselves by a negative starting point. Okay? So, partnering with God, I want you to ask God, where do you want me physically, holistically, March 31st? And I want you to ask for a picture. Starting with vision. What is God calling you to this month? Just sit and be quiet. He's created your body to be the temple of the Holy Spirit. And what is his plan for you this month? And you get to partner up with him. For me, I know this month of March is a big month for me energetically. I need to be on my best game to help support a lot of people. So I know what that looks like is going to be really pushing my body to perform at its highest potential right now and setting great boundaries for rest. So when you picture March 31st, what is that picture? Look in the mirror, envision what it's going to look like. All right. So that's our vision. Now your intention is the I in the VIM method. This is your intention. You're going to set your intentions. And I want to reread what David Smith calls intentions. Intention is activation of the will to set your heart and mind on doing something or going after something of value in your life and to do so on purpose. Okay, so here lies in the why. What do you value? Do you value being able to have energy for your kids, your clients, your classroom? Do you value setting a great example for your kids? Do you value being a good steward of what God gave you? Do you value health and feeling good? So these are all great intentions. So this is your why. So like I shared in my group today, I had them write out what is your focus for March. And then I prodded a little bit more and was like, okay, what about that is really important to you? Why do you value that? And it just helps you dig a little bit more. So, and it will help you create some affirmations and declarations. So one of mine that I do, my why, is that I want to fulfill the calling that God has for me. So my declaration is my body is strong and capable to fulfill the call on my life. Okay? That's an example. All right. So the next one, VIM, vision, intention, and means. This is how you're going to get there. So how are you going to create this plan? What is the step by step? Are you needing to meet with a mentor, a coach? Do you need to invest in a gym? Do you want to be in this free accountability group? Do you need to talk to your spouse about, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would love to go for a walk for 30 minutes. Can you watch the kids then? Or go play with them? Do you need to write down the plan? Okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm hitting the weights. Tuesday, Thursday, I'm doing stretching. Sundays are for resting. Saturdays are kind of inviting the family along. Or maybe he's calling you to just get out and enjoy his creation, no matter the weather. Maybe it's getting 10,000 steps in. Or maybe it's as simple as in this season of life with littles, it's getting outside with fresh air and moving your body for 15 minutes. It does not matter where you start. It is just partnering with him and asking, what is it that your body is called to in this month? We can keep it small, you guys. We can. It's so beautiful. What we sow, we will reap. And grace and small changes are going to create a large impact over time. All right. I want to just encourage you. One of the podcasts that I listened to with Mary Brown, she is a boundaries coach. I encourage you to go listen to her. She was talking about one of the first episodes this year in January. She interviewed somebody and they were talking about, I think they were talking about fitness plan, but Mary says, you can have grace with yourself to follow through on that plan 50 to 75% of the time. And it's still a win. You guys, if you follow through 50% of the time, it's even better than what you did last month, right? So celebrate and know that even the smallest changes are going to create bigger impact in the long run. Consistency is key. And there's so much parallel life lessons between fitness, movement, business, our spiritual journey, all of these things. They really point to God's amazing wisdom. So, welcome to this journey. Whether you have been consistently creating intention around your wellness journey for years, or this is your first day, I want you to know you are welcome here. And to sum up this episode, wellness is a journey of aligning our bodies and our mind and our spirit with the heart of the Creator. You have been given some tools to think about in this episode about how your actions are just the tip of the iceberg in your wellness journey. And this invitation to dig deeper into your mindset and even farther into the navigation into your heart of hearts, the mercy seat of Jesus, the garden of your heart, your beliefs, that is an invitation, my friend, to holistic hearts. What are some of those core beliefs that you need to admit, surrender, and exchange? All right. Come inside the Facebook group. I would love to hear your experience through this conversation today. And don't forget to follow this podcast so that you can be alerted when there's going to be those new episodes coming out. And there's going to be a lot of goodies. So please be sure to stay updated inside the Facebook group, to follow on the podcast apps, and please, please, please know you have an opportunity to come alongside a group of women who are going to support each other and encourage each other daily through March. All right. Cheers to 31 days of moving your body and really digging into the heart of heart things. Bye. As always, thank you so much for listening to Holistic Hearts. I'm Kristen, and know that you are loved and lovable.